You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, dadgummit there, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my brother, Kev, hugging Duggan.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a biscuit, folks. It was a rough game on Sunday. So rough that Coach couldn't be here right now. He couldn't face the music. No, I'm kidding. Coach couldn't be with us this first half of the episode, but I promise you, Coach will make an appearance in the second half of this monster episode. Yes, lots of Coach. He will give his 2 cents, but unfortunately couldn't be here for the first half. And it's fine, all for the better, in my opinion. Like, if there's a game that you don't want to be on Charger Chat and talk about, this could be that game. Yeah, Chargers lost 13-28. God, it was such a rough game, man.
Can I tell you what this game did to me?
It
took me to like a weird, dark place after the game. So I'm watching the show with my wife. You know, we're watching Yellowstone. Fantastic show. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it.
Yes.
So what this game did to me was we're watching an episode and there's an injured horse and the injured horse gets shot in the head. And I was like, yeah, for a moment. And my wife looked at me and was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I hate the Broncos. This Broncos game has made me hate TV horses.
Was it a white horse?
And I want them all shot in the head. Yeah.
It was a white horse?
It was like a darker, it was a Bronco vibe. It had a Bronco vibe. What I'm saying is that game pissed me off and it turned me into like a monster.
A horse hater?
While watching Yellowstone. And my wife doesn't trust me with my children anymore.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was such a frustrating game. It was not like there were peaks and valleys, there were stressful moments, but it was just more frustrating, I think, than anything else.
Frustration.
Just general frustration, whether it be dropped passes, whether it be penalties, whether it be Herbert getting sacked, there was just so many, whether it be a missed field goal, the first missed field goal for Mr. Hopkins, like, it was just really frustrating. So it's honestly kind of the less said about it, the better. But looking at the stat lines, Justin Herbert was 28 for 44, still threw for over 300 yards.
300-yard game.
Still,
like, that doesn't feel like he had a 300-yard game, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
I think what we need to remember watching this game is like how pivotal those 2 interceptions were. Like, usually the turnover is what decides games, right? So like those 2 picks came at the worst possible time. Like we were still absolutely in that game.
We're still chasing it, but yeah.
We were going to score and he rolled and threw to that just really bad pass, like an underthrow, like maybe his first underthrown pass as a Charger, something like that for that first pick. And then the Charger dropsies that we have now that gets deflected and pick sick. It's like,
that was so bad.
It just went from bad to worse really fast after a day of no offense. We had no offense. It was not even that fun to watch. It was just so stressful.
Defense came to play. Derwin James got an amazing interception. I thought he threw it in the dirt. I thought he was he threw it in the dirt and Derwin just got in front of it. It was like, no, Derwin got his hands under it, pulled it up into his chest and made the interception. Like, that was amazing. To see
with
that.
Like, it was like right at the end of the second quarter too. Like, they were about to go kick a field goal.
How we got our touchdown. We scored on that interception. So that and that was what was so frustrating, was like, obvious. I mean, the very first drive was 3 and out, like from the 1 yard line. That was just like, oh God, like not how we wanted to
pinned us down on the 1. Like,
with
the field position we're getting is shit.
Yeah, no, that was rough. And then, Broncos are up 14-0 at one point, but then when Derwin gets the interception, we score off the interception. We're going into the half 7-14. It's like, okay, we get the ball back third quarter. We're going to get it. We're going to score and we're still going to be in this. And that just didn't happen, man. It just did not happen. I mean, Justin Herbert still threw for 2 touchdowns, Eckler getting one of them, and the other one, amazingly,
that Cook
touchdown. That was crazy. That was like,
that's that's one of those lucky ones you don't want to like burn on a game like this.
That's
like I want to
true.
save
That's
that
true.
for later in the
Right.
season.
Yeah.
Because that was one of those Hail Mary balls that you might have like cashed in your chips on. Hopefully not, but that was crazy.
That was our practice Hail Mary, and we did pretty good. So we're prepped. We're ready to do it again.
I like what you did there.
What you did there. And as far as rushing is concerned, Justin Herbert was the lead rusher for this team. Apparently, 4 carries for 36 yards, averaging 9 yards a rush. That's incredible. Austin Eckler was behind him, rushing for 31 yards, averaging 2.6. And Joshua Kelly, Joshua Kelly only have that one carry?
That was the flying. No, I think that was a catch. So that didn't count for that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, one carry for Joshua Kelly, who we've hardly seen at all this year. Weird for him to be the running back behind Austin Eckler.
Interesting choices of running backs this week. It's
absolutely. We carried 4 running backs this game. We brought up Bradwell from the practice squad, and boy, a lot of people were cheering for him to come in and just plow through and make his presence known, but really
didn't get an opportunity.
Didn't get the opportunity. So I don't know if it's just because we were constantly chasing, trying to get those third downs, and I don't know what the reason was behind it. Obviously, coaches made decisions. And as far as the Denver Broncos are concerned, wow, Teddy Bridgewater only threw for 129 yards, 11
of 18.
Only threw 18 passes, and he didn't even play the whole game. Drew Lock came in for part of that, threw 4 for 7 for only 26 yards.
Our secondary did well here, from just the number standpoint. It didn't feel like that in the game, but they basically let them run all over us. It was basically like the Pittsburgh game didn't happen. And they decided to run all over us. And Melvin Gordon had 83, Javonte Williams 54, and then Teddy scored that. He had like 10 yards on
on that
one
touchdown.
of those being the touchdown.
Right.
It's just a weird game, man. Like I never the highlight of that game where actually I remember like talking to my wife being like, I had one moment of excitement, and that was when that interception happened.
Yeah,
like that was like oh yeah, let's go,
turn it around.
That we're gonna get it, and then that was the end of it. By the time we scored in the fourth quarter, it was like we're out of this. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's too far.
It's just a bizarre ass game, and it felt very lame.
It was very lame. But even in a lame game like this one, there's still accolades to hand out, folks. Austin Eckler is now the 3rd undrafted player to reach 5,000 scrimmage yards in his first 5 seasons. So, wow. Only in NFL history, in the entire history of the NFL, there have been only 3, and Austin Eckler is one of those people to reach 5,000 scrimmage yards as an undrafted player in the first 5 seasons. Congratulations, Mr. Eckler. You certainly deserve it. You certainly work your hardest out there, and we don't not see that. We see that every single week, and we absolutely appreciate you. Another guy that we appreciate is Mr. Keenan Allen, who is now tied for first as the fastest 700 career catches. Did that in 111 games. Mr. Keenan Allen tied with Antonio Brown, more than, got it there quicker than Julio Jones, got it there quicker than Marvin Harrison. 700 career catches. Keenan Allen, fastest.
That's pretty crazy, man. Congrats to you, man. Like, gotta find the happiness in the sad day that was Sunday, and there were some happy things that came from it, I guess.
There are some happy things. I mean, it reminds you that, like, we're not a terrible team, guys. Like, we've got good players on here that are really working their butts off and being productive. It's just, there were just some really frustrating moments that didn't go our way, whether it's dropped passes or penalties. It just was not happening. Let's see. There's a tweet here from Mike Clay. Broncos top wide receiver tight ends today. Tim Patrick had 2 receptions for 26 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 2 receptions for 25 yards. Cortland Sutton, 2 receptions for 17 yards. And Noah Fant, 3 receptions for 12 yards. So nobody made more than 26 yards.
You look at that, dude. We should have won that game just by the numbers.
Right. You look at the numbers and you're like, oh, clearly Chargers should have won this.
And I think it just goes to show, like, we really shot ourselves in the foot all game. Like, it was penalties. It was the offensive line. Just it was just the drops, the penalties, the guard play, the tackle play, like Herbert never getting comfortable in there, still throwing for 300. You know what I mean? It's just, two interceptions. It's like, you can't come back from these kind of things.
Yeah.
So we should have beat that team, man.
Should have beat them. I mean, the interceptions. I mean, the pick six, that was the nail in the coffin. It was just like,
sucked. Yeah.
Oh man. But fear not, folks. The AFC playoff picture after 12 weeks so far, Ravens are at the top 8-3. Number 2 are the Patriots, followed by the Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, and sitting at number 7 is the Chargers at 6-5. And the Raiders and the Broncos are also at 6-5, but we still have the lead with our divisional wins right now. So
we're still in this. Like, I think a lot of the thing that is kind of hard, when you go on Twitter and you see what everyone's saying and all the complaining, like, I get it. You're frustrated. It sucks.
It's a frustrating loss.
The way we're complaining is that we're, it feels like the complaints are equate to like we're the Jets.
Right. If we were the worst team in the NFL.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Fire everybody. Staley's not, he's overhyped. Like, all this stuff is like, guys, whoa. Like, we haven't been this good in like 3 years,
right?
4 years. We started out this hot. So I think it's sucks. Losing to a divisional opponent sucks.
Right. Losses suck in general. And then losing to a divisional opponent absolutely just amps up the suck. Yeah. The suckage goes way up.
Super suckage.
Yeah. So but we're not out of it is the point. We are still in this. We are still fighting for a playoff spot. We're still there, folks. Just don't abandon ship just yet. We still got a lot of ground to make up. There's still 6 weeks of football to play. So
it's a lot of football left.
Still a lot of football left.
Let's enjoy it.
Absolutely. All right, folks. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor this week, Symbol. Symbol is the stock market for sports that allows you to profit off your sports knowledge. On Symbol, you can trade sports teams like stocks, and every time your teams win, you earn cash. Use your sports knowledge on Symbol to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Join over 7,000 early adopters who have started to invest in their favorite teams. Visit www.symbol.com. That's SIMBULL.com to create a free account. And when you deposit, make sure you use the promo code ChargerChat, all one word, for a money-back guarantee. That's right. Use the code ChargerChat and your deposit will have a money-back guarantee up to $500. That means even if you lose money in the first 90 days, Symbol will refund your initial deposit, no questions asked. Join Symbol and start investing and profiting from your favorite teams. All right, now it's time to take a look over at Twitter and see what everybody is tweeting about today. We start with Gilbert Manzano, tweeting out Chargers head coach Brandon Staley on offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi. Joe's doing a really good job coordinating our offense. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, they're all having career seasons. We've ranked in the top 10 in every metric that you could ever hope for.
Yeah. It sucks. Metrics are great. The numbers are great. I want to see we need the wins.
The wins.
You know what I mean? Like that. So I think there is an element that there's still, you can be frustrated with, how some of these games are being called.
Sure.
But we talk about it all the time. It comes down to execution, don't you think?
Right. The wins are the metric that we are concerned about. Like, it's great to break records. It's great for these guys to play as well as they have been. But I mean, if you can't pull out a win, it almost just seems all for naught. I mean,
sure.
You write off like what happened last season. Like, the biggest accolade from last season was Herbert getting offensive player of the year, like offensive rookie of the year, I should say. My bad. So that's a huge accolade. And you can go like, yeah, we had a losing season, but look who we have for the future. We've got Justin freaking Herbert, offensive rookie of the year. Let's do this. Let's build this team. Let's move forward. And now it's like, okay, well, now he's in his second year. Yes, we've got a new coach. Yes, we've got new staff. Yes, a third of our team is almost brand new, but like, we want to see some wins, man. And like, I don't know how our attitudes would be right now if we didn't start the season off 4-1. Like, that was such a like, holy shit.
Set.
Yeah, that you set the bar way high. And then like, and we've been kind of tripping ever since then. So
some stumbles.
There's been some stumbles and some fumbles, but the team is playing good. Joe Lombardi is helping them, but we gotta get it in the end zone. We got to put up points, man. That's the big thing. If we're not putting up points, it just all seems for naught. Fernando Ramirez tweeted out when asked if yesterday's loss left a bad taste in his mouth, Chargers defensive tackle Justin Jones said it definitely did. He added, "We got to keep doing our thing and keep getting better and keep striving to get those wins." Couldn't agree with you more there, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, JJ.
I mean, you hope that it does leave a bad taste in their mouth. I mean, I don't know. It feels like after losses, we come back and we win. And I don't know if it's just like we get comfortable with the win and we don't feel like we have to put as much effort, but I don't know what the reason is. And I don't even want to put that.
It's just consistency, man.
Right.
It's just the consistency of it all. Like, we're kind of a weird team right now.
We are.
We need to get on a streak. We need to start stacking these things to be, people aren't really taking this seriously now. I think there's a lot of people that were like, all right, you look at the pregame things, like all the commentators picked the Chargers to beat the Broncos. I think that's going,
might start going,
going away.
Way. Yeah,
it's starting to fade. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I let's get back to it. There's still enough time to get back to where we want to get back to. You just got to clean up some of the stupid mistakes. Clean those up and we'll be okay.
Big time. Daniel Popper tweeted out the Chargers allowed 19 pressures to the Broncos yesterday per PFF. That's a season high. There are two starting guards mid-season acquisitions, Michael Schofield and Senio Kelemete, combined to allow 11 pressures.
It just shows how important Matt Filer is. How huge he is for this offensive line.
Yeah.
Because that was the fact that Justin still threw for 300 yards is crazy to me because the man never had a clean pocket. It didn't feel like he was ever safe.
No.
And there's ever time for a play to develop downfield.
Right.
And
it felt like last year. It felt like we had the line from last year.
Yeah.
And Herbert was running for his life. And because we know that Herbert does play well under pressure, but imagine what it could be if he's got some time to think and make decisions and actually, try to make some of those deeper passes. If he doesn't have the time, we can't expect to see it.
When you're playing the Broncos, they're a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have this happen to you the day you're playing one of the better secondaries in the league. Like, this is the worst possible time for Filer to go down and for Senio to not play well. And just the amount of pressures, the amount of times he was on the ground, it all sucked, really. And I think that, is one of the big reasons why we didn't win that game. I think Filer's in there. It's a different game.
Right. Well, he's called the anchor for a reason.
You know it.
Gilbert Manzano tweeted out Chargers head coach Brandon Staley said he went with Senio Kelemete over rookie Brendan Hymus at left guard because of experience. We want to make sure that when we put Brendan out there, he's ready. Staley added that he's hoping to get Matt Filer back next week.
God, I hope he's back next week.
I do too.
Please come back next week, Matt.
I
Filer,
do too.
Because Brendan Hymes, everyone's like, pissed about Hymes not playing, but he's a rookie and we don't know what he would have done necessarily any better.
Right.
I think what we need to what I need to focus my attention on and not be stressed out about this stuff is like, let's get Matt Filer back. Matt Filer back. A lot of these problems are solved.
Right. And as coach has said in the past, like, even when we get these guys back from injury, they're not 100%. So even if we do get Matt Filer back, it would be great. I think it would obviously be a step up from Kelemete, but
take an 80% Filer over 100% Kelemete.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, folks, don't forget to go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the sweet merch in the member section. The member section, you could talk to people and you can say, check out Kickman.
I
like. We've got Kickman shirts and we've got Charger Chats shirts. Put your shirt down.
Very nice.
It's very nice.
I will talk to you in microphone the rest of the show.
No, don't hurt your crumb.
Not a crumb.
Yeah, so if you feel so inclined to go to our store and pick out a few things, it really helps cover the cost of producing this show, and we would greatly appreciate it.
And good work to all you guys taking advantage of the
Did we
our
have
Black Friday deal. A lot of you guys did.
Oh, man.
And we're pumped for you guys to get your shirts. Send us pictures when you get them.
Please,
We want to see them.
Yes, if you bought anything on Black Friday, once you get it, please post pictures. We would love to see it.
And we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. We're not just saying it.
No.
Like we really appreciate you guys supporting us like that.
Big time. We're not Scrooge McDucking and jumping into pools of gold because we're selling t-shirts. Like this just makes our day to see you guys wearing shirts that show the support for this podcast. Because I mean, honestly, we do this for the lulls. We do this for hanging out with each other and talking Chargers with each other. But honestly, like seeing you guys appreciate it means the absolute world to us. So please continue to do so. We really appreciate it. And now it's time to move on to the next segment, Fan Focus. What do we got?
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super excited to have Nick from London. Nick, also known as Dr. Defense Huge on Twitter. What is going on, my man?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing better now. I meet the origin of the Kickman. The Kickman himself, Nick, over here. What's good? How you been, man? How you doing on this fine Monday?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it was a close loss we've had, but we're shamelessly positive, optimistic. So we'll keep it rolling.
I love it. All right, cool, man. Well, let's get into it. Let's figure it out. I want to find out how you became a Charger fan. So, how did you become a Charger fan?
So I'm quite a new fan. I started in 2018. I've got a mate from back home in London, John, and he attends all the London games. There's a few London games each year. And one day in October 2018, he texted me. He said, "Oh, mate, do you fancy coming to one of the NFL games?" And I'm unlike most kids who grew up in the area. I don't really follow football or soccer. I didn't really watch any basketball or anything. So I wasn't really a sporty kid. I did some swimming when I was a kid and a bit of tennis, but I didn't really watch any sports. And American football was completely out of the question. I was like, "No, mate, I'll be all right. Thank you. You can." Yeah. He goes with his dad or something. So I said, "You can go with your old man." But what I was interested in was trying to get on a date with a girl that I knew from the area. So we had some mutual friends and we were texting, and one of our friends got in touch and said that she likes to go to this restaurant in town on the other side of town, and she likes to get this meal. So maybe if you can get some brownie points if you take her to this place. And I thought, oh, this is great. I feel like an FBI agent. I'm working the case. I got my confidential informant giving me classified information. This is all going swimmingly. Love it. And then it came to the Saturday, the day, and we were meant to meet at 11 a.m. at the train station, and she was a no-show. She did nothing. She just ghosted me. She didn't turn up. I was getting so pumped. Like I thought it was going somewhere, and it didn't. It just fell flat on its face. And then I thought, got a free Saturday now. So I texted John. I said, "Mate, you still got that spare ticket?" He says, "Yeah, come down. It'd be great." And then so I went, and it was Chargers Titans. And like straight from the word go, I absolutely loved it. Like the powder blue and the bolts, seeing Phillip Rivers sling it 55 yards to Mike Williams for the touchdown, and then I didn't know anything about the game, but John was telling me the rules as we were going. And it got to, I think, the last minute, and they were, because we won 20-19, and we stopped their 2-point conversion after their touchdown in the last minute, and my heart was pounding. But I thought, cool, after that, I've been Chargers mad, and that flag over there was from the seats, and I took it with me. And I thought, it's, for some reason I kept it. Even over the next season, I watched a couple of games, but I wasn't mad. But I thought I've kept it for a reason. So the following year, I started watching the games, and I've just been, diehard Chargers fan ever since.
That's awesome. Like because you watch the Wembley games and you see like all the different jerseys, but like to have you go to the game at Wembley and become a fan after seeing that team, seeing the Chargers, that's awesome.
It was quite a chance happening. And now looking back, I'm kind of glad the goal goes to me, because
Thank God.
I might not have become a Chargers fan. It was great. So I always laugh with John about that, what would happen if, and he goes to some of the other games. He goes, "Oh, maybe if you came the following weekend, you went to the Eagles-Jags game." I thought, "Cool, no, thank you."
Yeah, right. Well, I hope you, after the game one, you went out to that and got that victory meal, whatever she liked. I hope you went there and just ate that shit up, because that was a sweet victory.
I think I checked out that restaurant a couple of weeks later with another mate, and it was actually pretty good. I was like, "Yeah, thanks." Thanks for the recommendation.
That's awesome. The way that it all shakes out is crazy. Well, we're glad you're a Charger fan, man. We love interacting with you on social media. Your shit's really funny.
Been great, yeah.
Kickman, sure.
It's nice.
This is nice. I like. So let's talk a little bit about the Broncos game. You know, it's hard because that was one of the more difficult games, you know, as a fan watching, because we just couldn't get anything going, really. What is something you took away from that game? You know, the easy thing is to, like, you know, things that were awful, but what were some things that, you know, when we were done with it, I guess I'm trying to ask, like, is there anything positive you took out of that game?
I think it shows how important certain O-line additions have been. So obviously Corey Linsley's just been an absolute rock throughout the season. But I think having, I don't like saying his name, Kellen Mete, but shows how important people like Matt Filer are. And I think Matt Filer doesn't really get as much recognition as he should. I mean, we call him the anchor, but it just shows how important it was. And Staley said that we wanted to become an O-line team. And even though the O-line has been a big problem, especially with Storm Norton and Balaga being out for pretty much the whole season, it shows that the O-line is our anchor for our team, and that once it's strong and once the players are in and we have some good starters and some good when we do get some decent depth, especially on the right-hand side, then that's something that we can build on to go forward. And we know the talent is there. We know Herbert's getting pressured a lot. It's coming in from the right side, but once he gets out, and you know, you can find Mike Williams for the deep ball, or you can get Keenan on the clutch for the third down. It's there. Like, the talent is there. We know it's there, but it's just getting that execution. And that's, for me, that still gives me a lot of excitement, knowing that we're able to do this. It's just certain you know, depth positions that are you know, just dragging us a bit behind. But I think it almost looks worse than it actually is, because once you're watching it, and especially I've learned from being at home as opposed to watching it in the stadium, and I've seen you guys, everyone on Twitter, you know, going to SoFi, it looks amazing. You can have a lot more fun, but when you're sitting at home, you're really getting a lot more analytical. You can rewind and watch certain plays. But I'm still optimistic about the team. I still love where we're going to go, and I believe in Staley, and I believe in his vision. So it's still exciting to see that, you know, these positions are there and they're ready, and they've got enough depth for us to go further. We just need to build on them a bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And it's something interesting with the Filer thing is, you know, like, when he was in trouble, he would always kind of scramble out to the left because you could always count on the left side of the line being there. This last game, there was no, like, we can just scramble to the left and everything will be okay. So I think there's something a lot to be said there. I think Filer showed the whole Charger fan base how important he is to this team. So I think that's great insight. So, you know, we got another interesting game coming up. So what are your thoughts on playing against Joe Burrow? It's Burrow, Herbert. You know, this is the, you know, top 6 picks or whatever from 2 years ago. So what are your thoughts on this upcoming game?
It's going to be a good matchup, obviously, because they're not division rivals. I'm not really going to feel too, you know, nervous or you know, agitated if we lose to them, or if we beat them, then great. But I don't think it's going to have the same sort of. It will have an importance to show, you know, if we can still overcome these problems that we've had. And it's, as they always say, it's not how about you go down, is like how you get up and move forward. But I'm still optimistic about the team. You know, there's been times when we've had this season last where we've had bad games and then we come back from them. So I still believe in all the team and their ability to bounce back. Hopefully we can get Matt Filer back. That would be amazing. I mean, I'm not even worried about Slater. Like, he's just a rock. Yeah. Like, we don't have to worry about him.
We're good.
I think my only question would be Asante Samuel Jr. He like 2 concussions so close, so early in his career is a bit scary. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he sits out like another 3 to 4 weeks, because we need him healthy long term. But if the sooner he comes back, then the better we'll look. But I still believe in the team. Hopefully we can free up Joey Bosa some more. But I'm optimistic about it. I'm optimistic about all the games because we've got all the talent there. It's just the execution, and it does get frustrating when it doesn't happen week in, week out. But you know, I'm optimistic about it. I did see that the Bengals did quite well against, I think it was the Steelers. So there will be some competition. It's not going to be a walk in the park, but all these games are doable.
Well, yeah, man, I agree. It's going to be exciting. You know, there's something about losing to a divisional opponent that makes it a little worse, like a little extra something. So hopefully the players feel the same way and they come back even more fired up, like, because we're fired up. Hopefully they're fired up too. So, man, we really appreciate your time, Nick. It was great chatting with you and meeting you. And yeah, man, tell people where they can follow you on Twitter and your social media.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Defense Huge on Twitter. I was Defense Huge, but I'm doing a PhD, and the Charger Chat guy suggested Doctor. So it's got a nice ring to it. So I'm on Twitter, and also shout out to Wall Dog for his incredible impressions. You know, the Ask Boltfam wouldn't be without what it is without them, and to Kyle, his Coach's Corner section. I absolutely love that. It provides a lot of insight for more simple-minded folk like me to understand the mechanics of the game. I really like that. So yeah.
Same for me as well. So all right, Nick, well, it was a pleasure, man, and hopefully we can talk to you soon, and let's go get this win, man. Let's get this win on Sunday.
For sure, let's get it, man. Let's go.
All right, brother. Very nice.
It's very nice. I like. Oh man, that was so good. I mean, two things. Number one, I'm glad that brownie points is like a universal term. It's not just like an American term. And number two, what an amazing thing for him to become a fan in 2018.
It got stood up.
Yeah, well, yeah, like the stars aligned for that to happen.
Can I just say?
Yes.
Bitch. Don't stand up our Nick like that. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? He's Defense Huge. How dare you?
And it is funny, like, you know, when we ask people how they became fans, and a lot of them will say LT, I think number two is the uniforms, man. They just see those uniforms and they're just like, that's it. That's my team right there.
What a cool way to like just not just go because you have nothing to do, and then it's just like
didn't understand the game.
This is my team.
Yeah, he didn't understand the game. Didn't know the rules. He's asking his buddy like, okay, well, what does this mean?
Look at him now. The way he's talking about the team, like he took a crash course, hardcore. He knows his football now. So that's so great to meet him, and thank you for the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely,
Nick.
yes.
Appreciate you, brother.
That shirt would not exist had it not been for you, my friend. So Kickman lives on because of you. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, everybody go check him out on Twitter. And now, folks, it is time to go on to the next segment. You know him, you love him. I'll stand in for Kyle. It's the Craig Experience.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit, you do it better than us.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
That's right. Your boy's back. Fresh from Thanksgiving break. Full of sodium, sugar, hell, all the bad stuff. Currently in the middle of a 36-hour fast to reset myself. But I did make it home in time to catch my favorite team take a Tyrannosaurus Rex-sized dump on the football field on Sunday. And yeah, my hide is officially chapped. But that said, you guys know the drill. We're going to always walk through this together. It's the price of fandom. You win some, you lose some. Going to be good Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. And then sometimes they're going to be these. So let's get to it. CC gang, big old holiday salute. To the rest of the Boltfam, what is going on? It's your guy Craig in Texas, and welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. And this is one of those games that from the outset you just knew didn't feel quite right. It started off wonky. From the bad field position to the turnovers that ended up not being turnovers that led to either longer drives that ended in points by the Broncos or whatever. It was just all over the place. And again, offensively, there was no rhythm. But there is something that I've made note of here for a little bit that I think we can all agree upon at this point. When the Chargers play the, upper crust of defensive minds of the NFL, they struggle. And this week was no different. Miyagi beat Daniel. Sorry, BSB. It's just like your mentor got the best of you. And you can't just boil this down to a Staley situation because there's plenty of blame to go around. From play calling to some decision making by Herbert, it was all bad. I can't quite figure out why there seems to be this issue playing against teams that run a ton of cover 2, but it hasn't been figured out yet. And teams are taking advantage of it, and it's resulting in offensive performances like this. Again, and it's kind of hilarious to watch Bill Cowher speak to this during halftime. He addressed the fact that the team has no real speed on offense. And I mean, I've only been saying that forever. And guys, do know that speed does not equate to just throwing the ball 50 to 60 yards down the field to a super fast guy. The element of speed can be utilized in the short area as well. We don't have a guy who can take a ball in space a couple yards out, like a 2 to 3 yard pass, like a slant or bubble screen or something, make guys miss and then house it. We don't have that type of player on the offense. And it is actually limiting Herbert's ability. Mike Williams is a big body guy. He can get down the field, but he isn't like a burner per se. We know what Keenan is as a possession receiver. We're not going to talk about Guyton. I'm probably never going to mention his name ever again. And Joshua Palmer is up and coming kid, but he's also not one of those take the top off dudes. So let's stop beating that dead horse. It's like we've been saying for weeks now. The roster is what it is. Defensively, it was another one of those games where the team played pretty well, specifically against the run, but they had some issues getting off the field on key downs. And then there were stupid penalties again. And, wash, rinse, repeat. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over again. And, I mean, there were some bright spots, particularly the brightest of all spots is freaking Derwin James. Thank 33-year-old bearded Jesus for Area 33. My man, you don't know me. You probably may never see this. But if you and the missus want a nice night on the town, I'll fly out to Cali and babysit Lil DJ for you. Y'all live it up. Stay out all night. I don't care. Hell, just line me up a room in the guest area. I'll wake up in the morning, cook y'all breakfast, and go cut your grass. Whatever, man. Whatever you need. I'm your dude. Again, you don't know me, but I feel like I know you. And I don't mean that in a stalker way. That may be how that came off. But again, dude, whatever you need, man, I'm your guy. Please don't leave us. Please stay forever. We need you. DJ did his best in a Herculean effort to keep this team in the game. And he darn near did it too. Now, the rest of his boys would have showed up to help, then we may be talking about a different game. I don't know. Just my personal opinion. The other thing that didn't really make sense to me was something else that I've been asking for. And it's for Darius Bradwell to get on the field because he's the only true power back of all the running backs. And to me, would be the best compliment to Austin Eckler. In the preseason, he performed well in limited carries. He also performed well on special teams. So I could never really figure out, in all of this RB2 stuff, why he could never get on the field. But they activated him, and the only thing I remember, because this is strictly from memory, I'm probably not rewatching that game, is that there was a pass that you could argue was either a bad pass or a drop, however, and then I didn't see him anymore. But that's not why you want him in the game. You would want him to be a primary running back to help you get tougher yards against a stouter defense and maybe get Austin Eckler out in space because he's probably your best option in that regard. That didn't really happen. But I digress. It was just kind of an all over the place game. There were a bunch of things that didn't make sense. Filer being out, we see, is a problem because if I butcher your name, I'm sorry, Kelemete, I believe. I'm sure he's a nice gentleman, but he at least cost us one full drive. Now, granted, Hopkins missed his kick on that drive, which is a whole nother story, but Mr. Kelemete didn't exactly help. I watched him get whipped for at least 4 plays straight. Between that and the penalties, I'm wondering, did Brendan Hymus shag somebody's girlfriend on the team? Because Buddy can't get on the field. Whatever internal strife is going on there, whatever this dude did wrong, y'all need to make amends and get him out there. Because what I saw during the preseason, just like all of you guys did, was another kid performing very well. You got what amounts to an all-pro left tackle out there. I don't really think that putting two rookies side by side at this point, when you got that dude over there who performs like a 10 to 12 year pro, is all that big of a deal right now? I mean, with Filer being out, I would consider that to be the best option. Hopefully Filer's back next week, though, because Cincinnati looked like a juggernaut against a team who almost came back and beat us a week ago. So that's something to look forward to. But hey, always going to try to keep it shamelessly positive. So here's something that has almost absolutely nothing to do with the on-field performance of the Chargers on Sunday. I told you guys a month ago that the Los Angeles Rams were phonies, and I've been proven right once again. I believe they've only beaten, 2 teams with 500 or better records? It was one for a while, but then the Colts decided that they were going to get their crap together and started performing admirably. And but other than that, they beat the Bucks, and then who else, really? Right. So the whole narrative about us, because the national media likes to take a dump on us and talk about our lack of fandom and other teams showing up to a game and taking over our stadium. It's really funny because the Rams play a lot of those teams too, and they're also a newer team to the Los Angeles area, and they deal with the same issues as the Chargers, but you don't really hear anything about it. And now they're getting the crap kicked out of them by good teams. But I know no one really cares about that. They'll just keep doing stuff like covering up by signing top-tier, high-level, big-name players, and it's literally like some David Copperfield sleight of hand stuff. Like, hey, I know this is a train wreck going on over here, but hey, look at this, rabbit out of a hat. So there's something to, I guess, maybe be happy about. I know it makes my fragile Charger heart smile because maybe y'all can take some time dumping on another team for a change because, we're having a tough enough time as it is. But, again, I don't have a question for you guys because I'm kind of in repair from Sunday and just kind of gearing up for this Bengals matchup. It is a winnable game. I'm anxious to see Herbo versus Joe Burrow. And it should be a pretty awesome duel. Hopefully our offense gets their act together and they put up some points. Maybe it's just a super entertaining game. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to go back to fasting now. That should be fun. I'm not rewatching that game, though. I love you guys, but I'm not putting myself through that again. But until next time, Sunday should be a good one. Looking forward to it. You know what it is. Bolt gang or don't bang. Cheer up, folks. It's not the end of the world. Okay, love you. Bye.
Well, Craig, I hope the fasting goes well for you, guy, because that is
fasting sucks.
Fasting
That's
does
smart
suck.
though. I felt like trash after Thanksgiving, just garbage. So
yeah.
I might get on that. I might do a 6-hour fast, see how that goes, and work my way up to the pro level. But yeah, great insight, Craig.
Absolutely,
same page,
Craig.
man.
Yeah,
just from the onset, just felt like a weird game that stupid stuff. Another thing he reminded me of, Tillery, that roughing the passer play. Yeah. What is his problem, man?
Who, Tillery?
Tillery.
I mean, I don't know. The replay was so quick. Honestly, it looked like somebody pushed him into, I don't even remember if it was Bridgewater or if it was Drew Lock, but it looked like he got pushed into him. So I don't know if he was necessarily going full at it. A lot of the penalties that happened were just kind of like, what the hell? Like, what did you guys see? Like, Rashawn Slater holding, really didn't see that. Mike Williams pushing off, really didn't see that.
No, that was the trashiest of trash calls of the whole game.
Yeah. No, so there were some bad penalty flags that were called that were just like, come on, like, really? So it was a rough game to watch. It sucks because it sucks the most because it was a divisional game. Like that really is the biggest reason why this sucks. So hopefully these guys can turn it around, go up against Cincinnati. If we can come back with a healthier offense aka Matt Filer being there on the line.
That's really the one we need back, right? It's just
I mean,
him.
for offense, yes, that is the anchor we need back, because everybody else, I mean, and everybody else, just like, I don't know what you got to do. Like, get those little squeezy things and work out your finger digits. I mean, use the remote more often, play some video games or something. Jesus, I don't know. Whatever you got to do to get your fingers stronger to catch these bullets from Herbert.
Ball.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it is that you got to do. I mean, I know you can't put, what was it back in the day? You'd put like stick 'em on your hands or something
it's
like that.
Little Giants. Remember in Little Giants? Like,
hey, yeah, I don't know what we got to do. We got to petition to get stick 'em back, because God damn it, we need it.
Chargers could use it.
So, all right, gang. Thank you, Craig, as always, for coming on.
And for Craig too. Also, he's been hinting at it for some time now. He just started his very own YouTube channel.
Cool.
So he's going to be with us every Tuesday episode, but he is going to be generating some more stuff. So go over to his channel, the Flight Deck, FLYT3 Deck,
Flight Deck,
and go subscribe to him, because his shit's good. Shit's back.
Absolutely, yeah. For those of you that are like, I love Charger Chat, but Craig is my man. I could listen to Craig 24/7. Just give me straight Craig. Enough with these three knuckleheads that come on here and act like they know what they're talking about. Give me more Craig. Now you got it, folks. Flight Deck.
Flight Deck.
Go check it out on YouTube. And now, gang, it is time to bring back Kyle, because it's time for Ask Boltfam. Kyle, where are you? I can't see
He's there.
you.
I see him. I see him on the horizon. Let's go.
Yes.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like
totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. It's time for Ask Bolt Fam. And hey, look who it is. Look who decided to show up today. Kyle, the coach Doug, and making an appearance.
He made it.
I was busy trimming my beard up, apparently.
Second a long time.
Second I hopped on here, everyone's like, Kyle, you look like you're 12 years old. I'm like, yep, sorry.
It's like a training wheels beard. I like it.
No hat, no beard. I'm a little kid again. Here I am.
It's all good. Glad you can make it. We've got a lot of questions here to get through. We will try to fire through this as quickly as possible. We started off with Tuck Buckford.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question?
Bet your Buckford.
I am satisfied with improvements for this year. Got a super left tackle, a legit cornerback in Samuel. Mike Williams has developed to #1 receiver. Hooah! And a super young coach. Need more, but it's all coming. It's all coming. Hooah!
I like it, Tuck Buck. I like it.
Yeah. It's just kind of a bummer that the mindset has shifted to next year. You know, that's just kind of where everyone's at with the inconsistencies that we're kind of getting out of the Chargers.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I think that's good to look forward to, because there absolutely is pieces that we put in place this year that's going to pay off for 5, 6, 8, 10 years down the line.
Big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But sure, Willie and I talked about it. It's like we're still in the playoffs. Like we're still, the way everyone's talking about this right now is that we are, we're the Jets.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not the Jets.
We're not the Jets. We're not the Jags. We're not the
And
Giants.
it's not like, it's not
Texans.
a rebuild. It's not
Yeah.
6, 7 years down the line. It's, man, we had a couple bad, inconsistent games, but we know that we have pieces there. So it's
Absolutely.
still a good day to be a Charger fan.
100% big time.
Amen.
Tuck Buckford, thank you for reminding us to be shamelessly positive. Moving on to Salty Sports Guy, who asked the question. I don't know, guys. That was rough. I think more than anything, the consistent inconsistency is exhausting. I'm Christmas decorating outside today. Wife wants white lights because they are quote-unquote classy. I want multicolored lights because that shit is festive as fuck. What do you guys think?
I'm a white light guy.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry. I sided with your wife.
Yeah,
I'm a
sorry,
white-
bro.
I'm a white light guy.
But I do enjoy the festivities of the colorful.
It
the
is
lightness.
nice, the couple houses here and there throughout the neighborhood that do the big colored lights. They're fun.
Mhm.
They mix it up, but
Yeah.
my house doesn't have those.
Yeah, I think it depends too. Like if you're in like a snowy area, which I am, we do get snow here. The white on the snow just really makes it pop, man. It just really makes
Good
it shine.
call.
And there's different shades of white. You know, you've got like the clear white, you've got the
Icicles,
warm white, you've got
off-white.
icicles. Absolutely, there's
LED
kind of that,
now,
Dude.
right? Yeah, there's a lot
Dude,
of
hey.
options.
Got a solution for you.
Mm.
They have these LEDs where you can change whatever color you want.
Oh, there you
One
go.
night,
One night,
color
if mom-
party for
yeah.
you.
That's right.
One night, all white for
Wife
mom.
Make the
is
wife
driving out of
happy,
the
yeah.
out of the driveway. You're waving,
click.
bye, honey. Have a
Yeah.
good
Boom,
day.
color.
Oh, it's a multicolored light party at Salty Sports Guy's house. That's what I'm talking about.
Do it.
Festivus Salty Sports Guy. Keep it up. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on to Marcos, who asked the question. I'm having trouble understanding how a team led by Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater, okay, makes our defensive look slow and out of position, okay. Defensive calls are bad, okay. O-line is weak, okay. And I need a drink, okay. But I still love you. Bye, okay.
Oh, dude, I love that. Have we done a Mr. Mackey?
We haven't done a Mr. Mackey yet, okay.
Put it in the file.
Put it in the file.
Good shit.
That's right.
I don't think, dude, like, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater, he had one scrambled run. Other than that, he did not have that great of a game against us.
Right.
They had the ball that first quarter, and that was pretty much the extent of what their offense did.
And they scored twice, and that was it.
Everything else they did, they capitalized on our turnovers. One of the touchdowns was pick six. So,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm too shamelessly positive for my own good sometimes.
It's just weird. The stats just don't seem to mean anything.
No.
You know, like we outstatted them and didn't beat them. And usually it's like, oh, time of possession. Like it was right there, pretty much even time of possession. We had the ball the entire third quarter, but still we just could not score. Like it's just big plays that we're giving up. It's like there was one drive. I swear, if we would have scored, we would have had like 130 yards worth of offense because of penalties. It was like we'd get a little gain on first, then we'd have a holding penalty, and then we'd pick up the first down, and that's just what we did for 5 plays in a row. So it's like the offense moved the ball. I feel like the defense did decent after that first drive was pretty weak.
Well, that third quarter, they didn't get a first down. Not one.
So I don't know. I don't know what to blame. I mean, there's just, what are you blaming on? It's just like we just didn't win. We just didn't score.
Right.
I don't know.
It's just, there's just a whole bunch. It was like one of those perfect games of
But what we
mess
can
ups.
say, it's not that Teddy played a better game. Like
No, Teddy
that
didn't
shouldn't
beat
be the takeaway from this, is that Teddy played a better game.
But
You know
how
who
did a team
sucked ass,
But
though?
no, but that's his
Drew
point.
Lock.
The point is,
He sucked ass.
I think his point is, how did a team led by that guy beat us? Because he didn't beat us because we know he's not good. So how did
he
that
didn't
team
even
beat us?
lead part of the game. The Drew Lock came in and played for him half the game.
Yeah,
so it's like
exactly.
their
So
defense.
even more
a leadership.
But listen, even more so, how did they beat us? If they have a
Their
Teddy
defense.
Bridgewater quarterback and a goofy Gump Mizzou quarterback, how did they beat us? That's his question. And
Yeah.
we beat ourselves. That's the bottom line. They do have a good defense, but we beat ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's hard to put a bit of focus on it. But Marcos, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on to Senora Snappy, who asked the question. Thank you for being shamelessly positive. During the game, I kept in mind what you all have talked about, taking the opportunity to study what's happening. Charger fans, take Bolt Chat coach advice this week. Bolt the f*** up. The ride is going to be bumpy.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, we all knew everything for this season was not like sky's the limit. Like there were so many people that were just like, hey, man, if we can just get through this like 50-50, then that's good. Having a new coach, new coordinators, almost an entirely new team, like a third of the new players like on this team, like everything's still kind of like coming together. We're seeing a lot of promise, and it's tough. I understand, like in those first 5 games, we were 4-1 for a short period of time, which was amazing. Like that was the right way that we wanted to start, and things have just not gone the way that we wanted. So stay shamelessly positive, folks. This is a tough division. We're still in playoff contention.
We have a
Like,
playoff spot
yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
So it's not over yet. They need to fix some serious shit quick.
Yes.
But it's not over yet.
Yeah. And everybody listen to Bolt Chat Coach, you know? Bolt the fuck up.
Sometimes.
Do it or
both fuck
don't.
up.
It's up to you.
No, do it.
Do it.
Don't
Do
give
it
them
now.
options. Even do it.
You can be salty. You don't have to, but it's not as fun.
Right. You can be with all the other salty people. Don't expect me to listen.
We're here for a good time, not necessarily a long time, okay?
There you go. Senior Snappy, thank you for reminding us to be shamelessly positive. Let's move it on to Jeebs.
The D is silent.
Who asked the question?
Hey, yo, hey, Boltfam, I know it, fucking shit-ass, shitting, bitch. Okay, yo, I feel, oh, fuckity, shitty, butt-loving, shit-faced fucker. Hey, yo, sorry, I think I, Okay, okay, yo, now I'm okay. Hey, yo, okay. As for the question, well, here it is. Okay, what the fuck? Oh yeah, fuck the Raiders. Okay, hey, okay, love you, bye.
Feel you, Jeeves.
Yo,
I don't know.
Yeah, we wish we knew what the fuck. Yeah. I wish I knew why we have as many drops. That really was like the glaring thing to me, was just we can't shore up these catches, man. Like I don't know. I don't know why these guys can't catch it. I know Herbert's throwing it hard.
Thinner? The air was thinner and was going a little faster, possibly.
We dropped the ball a lot of times. Yeah, we dropped a lot before this week. I don't know. I can't explain. I don't know if there's an explanation for the drops. I don't know.
I don't know that there is either. But that just seems to be like, if we catch some of those passes, it's an entirely different game. So.
It's just interesting to me too. Like, you know, we've lost worse games than this. Like losing to Baltimore, that was shit. Like that was bad. Like we did nothing that game. Like I felt like we did a little more this game, but the fact that we lost to an AFC West opponent just makes the loss that much harder, I think.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where everyone's more emotional and it just sucks harder now, is because we lost to the Broncos.
When we know they're not good. Like,
and that team is I was just going to say that. Yeah, like we just talked about in previous episodes, like we saw that the Denver Broncos were beating terrible teams and then losing to decent teams, like teams that could actually play.
I wouldn't be surprised if when they come to SoFi, we beat them by 30. I really wouldn't. If we play if we play to the potential that we actually have, we beat them by 30. So I don't, and also this deferring the ball stuff, it's got to stop. We got to start taking the ball to start.
Take the ball.
Because we got put on the 1 yard line. They were able to run the ball and establish kind of a beat 'em up thing. Put the ball on the 1 and we were screwed. Just put the ball in Justin's hands. I'm a defensive coach and I'm still saying this. Like, we just got to go right off the bat. Let him go try to score and get points up quick, because getting the ball at the 1 really put a bad tone that we got started on to start that game.
Absolutely. That was a 3-and-out start to the game. So yeah, that was rough. But hey, Jeebs, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for coming around every week. Let's move it on now to Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question. Okay. So I keep seeing a bunch of Fire Lombardi and what's our biggest draft needs tweets. I just have to say, chill, my dudes. We are on this way for the long haul, and this ride ain't over yet. We are still playoff bound, brochachos, and Staley I trust. Okay, later on, dude.
Daniel? Fuck yeah, Daniel.
I love it, Daniel.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
chill.
it.
I think there's an element of chilling that needs to happen on this week.
Everybody take a chill pill, bro. My God. Come on. We're still 6-5. All right. We still got playoff spots.
The Fire Lombardi stuff. Just stop, guys. I feel like it's just a default mechanism that we have. Like, oh, we lost. Fire somebody. Oh,
I know, right?
We won. Extension. Oh, that guy had a good game. Keep him forever. Oh, he had a drop. Cut him. It's like this instant reaction. Fire, higher, fire, extend, fire.
Fire, higher, fire, higher.
Right. We
absolutely
are
crazy.
We are a nation of people now that just want immediate response to everything.
Yeah.
And
how better make me happy. You're gonna pay.
How did Lombardi have anything to do with our guards not blocking anyone
or the wide receivers
passes?
Dropping passes? Yeah.
I'm sorry. What do you want him to do? He was throwing the ball deep. We got called for PIs, push-offs, and we had interceptions.
Yeah, that was
what do you want? What do you want Lombardi to have done differently? Unless you can say these are exactly what he did wrong, stop asking for people to be fired. Stop. We have a top 10 offense still.
Yeah. Exactly. And Herbert still threw for 300 yards. He's
And
still
2
threw
touchdowns.
for 3. Yes. He
Come
had
on.
2 really inopportune picks. It's not Lombardi's
Lombardi
fault.
had nothing to do with any of that.
Right.
Unless you could always blame it on, oh, well, he called this play instead of that. Like, I guess you could go down that rabbit hole, but he's been our coach for 11 games, guys. Settle.
Settle.
Like I'm
Settle.
talking to my dog, like, no.
Drop it.
No.
Drop it.
Madden, no.
Drop Lombardi. Drop him. Drop it. Then he just runs off to the other side.
Yeah.
Pisses in the corner and
Hides
runs
it for
outside.
later. Yeah.
There you go. Daniel Llewellyn, thank you for reminding us to stay shamelessly positive. Moving on now to House of Hain, who asked the question.
I say, what the fuck? Philo was out, and I think this alone hurt our chances. 10 was running for his life. I say, drop passes, kill us again. You got to risk it if you want the brisket, son. You hear what I'm saying? Still in this shindig, so can't love you bye. Got to keep your eye on the ball. Ball. That's a joke, son. They're going right over your head. You built too low.
All right. House of Hain, thank you for asking the question.
That's good. They're even writing the little improvs you do for the voices now. They're in the scripts.
Well, I love Foghorn Leghorn, and that's my favorite. Eye on the ball. Ball. It's a joke, son. My mom loves that. She'll get a kick out of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not having Fire to play was obviously a big deal.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even our fan focus, Nick was talking about it. Like,
yeah,
clearly that you could literally all these other players have had up and down games. The one piece
the
that
anchor
you remove from this game, he can no longer, try and get out of the pocket to the left because he's getting pressure from the left and always getting pressure from the right.
Right.
It was just, you can't pay that man his money. You already paid him some money, but pay him some extra money.
Give him more money.
You're
Tips
doing
for
it again.
Philo.
You're doing it again, Kevin. You're doing what I just told everyone not to do. He does good. Pay him. He's bad.
Pay him
Cut
his
him.
money.
And should we cut Kelamet too? Cut him right now.
But you can agree how badly we miss Filer in that game.
100%.
You can agree to that.
Yeah, everyone knows he's the starter and the other guy's the backup for a reason.
Right.
You know that. Like, that there's going to be a drop off, or you have to help with your center getting over there to help more and this and that and the way that you do protection. But if you start shifting left, then you're leaving Storm on an island too. So you're in a bad spot when you have a backup right tackle and a backup left guard, because where do you shift protection to help?
Absolutely.
So guards are kind of in there isolated on their own. So it's not put a big guy in there and hope he does his job type of a matchup.
And our backup was definitely had some penalties. Like, I think it's a bold thing to say, but I think if Filer plays that game, the likelihood of us winning is higher, much higher than
for sure
than what we just
witnessed.
It's hard, man. You could say that about any backup to starter. Like, obviously, we have a much better chance with Herbert than Chase Daniel. That's a huge drop off.
Sure.
There's a reason that they're backups and they're not starting somewhere. And the one thing I'll say about Hymus, I've seen a lot of people like, where's Hymus? Why isn't he playing? How are you not playing Hymus? How do we know how good he is? We've never seen the guy play. We've seen him play a couple of preseason games against backups.
Right.
So, like, we have no clue if he's good or not.
Right.
He was drafted in a late round to be a project to get ready for the future, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
He was not drafted to play right now. And everyone's everywhere like, why is Hymus not playing? Why is Pipkins not playing? I'm like, guys, stop. Stop. We're going to go to Pumpkins. Stop.
I mean, do you think it begs an answer? Is like, as to why he's not playing? Like, is that something that they should ask Staley in the press conference? Like, what's
you can't? What's the answer? You know the answer. He's not ready.
You think so? You think that's what it is?
This guy's better. That's the only reason a coach puts a guy in over another guy is this guy's better than that guy. In practice, he must be a lot better. Coach is not up there like, how can I sabotage us this Sunday to make this harder for everyone? And maybe we'll lose.
I could go with this guy who we know plays really well, but we've not given this guy a shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something in my tummy is
know.
telling me I should
This
go
guy's-
with
yeah. This guy's way better, but I'm gonna put
I
a
shook a
shitty guy
magic
and roll
8
the
ball
dice.
and it said Hymus. So
yeah.
no,
It's just like
that's true.
clearly this guy's playing better. Like
Right.
that's why a coach would play a player.
Right.
Like guys, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta
not like he's up there guessing.
right. We sit here and we see the players a fraction of the time that the coaches see these players. They're working with them constantly every single day. They know what they're capable of. They know what they're able to do.
Yep.
We don't. We're just going. When we see something not work. Like I said, we're those people that want those immediate, like changes. It's like, well, okay, well, this guy sucks, so let's try this guy. Like we're acting like we're playing Madden. Put this guy in.
How do we know that Hymus wouldn't have given up 40 pressures?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know.
Absolutely.
We don't. We're not we don't get to see what they're doing. So stop
it's easy for couch coaches, and I'm, one of those as well. That's easy thing to say. He should have been in there. He would have done better, but you don't know. It's easy for you to say that because you can't be refuted, and that's just the way that is. So
can't be wrong.
That's the argument, and because it's an easy one at that.
All you can know is that coach knew or decided that the other guy was the one to play, not Hymus.
Yep.
So gotta go with it, folks. It's in the past, looking towards the future. House of
Filer's the future.
Filer is absolutely the future. So hopefully,
all that said, we need fucking Filer.
We need him back in a big
be
bad
our
way.
future, yes.
Yeah.
House of Hain, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Kevin Kernick, who asked the question: how in the hell? How can this team refuse to play Hymus when they had no problem trotting Trey Pumpkins out there? Well, the game's over, Kevin. Game's over.
Why don't you put Coach in charge?
Why don't you put Kevin in charge? There you go. Well, we kind of jumped the gun there, Kevin.
Yeah,
sorry.
Kevin.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's just I think we all got excited about Hymus in the preseason. Coach had some good things to say about him.
Right.
He seemed to play well according to Pro Football Focus, so we were all hyped up.
We saw him play a little bit in preseason, but
Against
again,
backups.
it's against backups 100%. So whatever the reason is that he's not playing, there's got to be one. We're not there. We're not in the office. We're not out there at practice, so we don't know. But Kevin, thank you for asking the question.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin.
Let's move it on now to Z the King 1. And shout out to Robert Carper. You guys pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Z the King 1, who asked the question.
I know I and a lot of other people out here might be overreacting, but it really feels like something just isn't clicking on this team. The offense is far too talented to put up duds like it so often, and defense just looks like a train wreck sometimes. I know we have injuries, but that's part of the game. Literally every team has injuries. The Packers are beat to hell and still have 9 wins. So what can be done to fix this team? And as far as free agency or trades would be a viable solution, that's generally not Tommy T's style. So that's probably not it. Another thing, how long do you think Tommy T has before his seat gets hot, given the overall lack of success we've had while he's been the GM? Only made the playoffs twice, never led the division, etc. In honor of the guy that ruined my afternoon, Patrick Surtain, can you do your best, Patrick Star?
There we go. This is my Patrick Star. See, the King 1 obviously got some bones to pick with some people, Tommy T especially. So I don't know. Do you think Tommy T's in the danger zone?
I don't know how he is when you get your first, the last 2 drafts have been pretty awesome. So you're going off drafting, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
Well, drafting, free agency, pickups.
And look at
your
our free
overall
agencies
roster.
from this year. We just killed it with Lindsley and Filer. So
Right.
I'm not seeing him going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
I think it'd be too early to jump ship before you even have a chance for, Staley and Tommy to get together to really have a whole offseason to plan for who they're going to draft.
That's assuming that Tommy T listens to the coaches. We're just assuming that they're BFFs and they work really close, and he listens and gives Staley everything he wants, which might not be the case.
He's not going to get everything he wants, but I think he's a reasonable guy. I think it's safe to
That's
say.
what we hope. That's what we hope. I just think you do have to look at the general manager is responsible for the overall construction of the roster, right? It's not just drafts. So everything from our special teams to our depth, if somebody gets hurt, how big of a drop off is that? He's responsible for all of that. Looking at waiver wires, looking at the practice squad, making sure everything's moving, looking to future, obviously, draft picks. And I do think that the last couple of drafts have fallen into his lap. I think he would have picked Tua over Justin if we had the 5 and not the 6. And I think that Rashawn Slater, we all know fell right into our laps. Derwin James fell into our laps. Like those guys should have been drafted 5-6 spots ahead of us. So some of that stuff you can't really give him credit for. I do think he's on the hot seat.
Wow.
Like this question says, we have not had a lot of success. He helps bring in coaches. I think he has a good coach now, but he's brought in some duds. He brings in all of the roster, and the roster has been very like we do have some superstars, but the overall construction, you can't tell me it's as deep and as good as teams like the Packers, like this talking about, or the Patriots that always seem to have special teamers that are willing to go kill people and be the best special teamers in the league. We just have never had that. We have the superstars for sure, but man, this is a business about winning. If you don't win, you get fired, and we have not won consistently enough, I don't think, to give him a lot of a leeway. I think he's on the hot seat. I don't know if he'll go, but I definitely think his seat is on your car you can do 1, 2, or 3 dots to seat warmer.
Yes,
he's on like a 1.5. I think he's a 1.5. He's like I want it's getting a little cold.
Right.
Do I need it hotter? That's where he's at right now for the 2.
All right, fair enough.
I'm taking into not only that, but what the ownership has done with previous GMs, like roller coasters and seasons, and just they don't really do that. They lock into a guy and they hold on. So I'm just not really seeing it. I don't think he's done all that bad to warrant like you're on the streets, pal. Get out of here, pack your bags.
You're on the streets. Yeah, I think he's got at least one more year to figure it out, but I think
it's
everybody's
warming.
making good points.
It's warming.
It's warming. Yeah, it's a balmy seat.
I would say
sure.
it's more like
it's not cold.
It's like a fart that warms your seat.
Right.
It's really just kind of warms it for a hot second, and it's not pleasant. But then it
it's enough for you to
goes
notice
away.
it.
You noticed it though.
Yeah. You noticed it. It was hot and warm, but it was a self-inflicted warm harm.
And it stinks. It totally. Somebody
stinks.
crack a window. Z the King one. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Blonded Surfer, who asked the question. Well, to put it shortly, after a week of holding Lombardi the llama on a higher pedestal, he's managed to fall down my surfboard very fast. Coach and I will forever disagree on him as a play caller. Anyway, to lighten up the vibe some, you can only eat one food the rest of your life. Hey, what is it?
One food.
Easy. California burrito. Add guac, no pico.
That's heavy to eat forever.
Ever.
Get. If I can only eat one thing, just like call it. I'm good. Like I'll live for a couple
die
years.
Short, yeah. Because if you can only eat one,
just go for it. Yeah.
I don't even
California
know.
burrito from jalapenos and Carmen Mountain Ranch. Sign me up.
What would you go with, Adam?
I lean towards pizza, but as soon as Kevin said California burrito, it made me think of breakfast burritos, and I love me a good breakfast burrito.
Hey, eggs have a lot of protein.
Absolutely. Well, eggs,
still
cheese,
get gains.
Taters, bacon.
Do we have to like do our normal life and only eat one thing, or are we just like
have we just given up and we're
because like if I have to go about my normal life, if all I can eat is breakfast burritos, I won't be able to get anything done. I'll just be taking.
I think in the vibe of what everyone's thinking as a Charger fan right now. Doomsday. We're in doomsday mode. Doomsday food. What
you're
you got?
Prepping for doomsday. You're bunkering down.
Yeah. What's your one item?
I don't know. I can't answer. I'll go with pasta.
No food for you. No soup for you.
I'll do a very general pasta. A bunch of different pastas.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Going heavy on the carbs.
Sorry.
Excellent.
Carb load.
I don't know. That's okay. Hypothetical. I don't like it. I like food too much.
There you go, Blonded Surfer. Thank you for asking the question.
And I hope that one day maybe we will.
I hope that you guys will see.
I hold on to hope. Yeah, maybe one day we'll see eye to eye.
Yeah.
All right.
Still hope.
Let's move it on now to. I'm not sure if this is ill agent 3 agent.
I'll tell you what it is.
I'll tell you what it is,
Certified
Kevin.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you that
All
for
right.
a fact.
Agent number 3 asking the question goes something like this.
There's plenty of room to improve, and the good news is we're on the plus side of 500 with 6 games left. Fans should also think of this as a multi-year process to become a perennial contender.
I like the positivity there.
Love this positivity, man. There's a lot of good, positive folks out there reminding us that, hey, we're still in this, folks. We're not out.
In previous years, if we could have, what I would have done to be over 500 at this point in the season.
Yeah.
Last 3 since we started this podcast. Yes, we haven't been at this record since we started this podcast.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good actually.
Let's act like we're actually there. We're 6-5, folks. It's not the end
We
of
just
the
gotta
world.
stack a couple W's. We keep good game, crap game, good game, crap game. Let's go good game, right?
Yeah. Let's
Crap
get some
game, good game, good game.
Yeah.
GG, yeah.
Yeah,
And then we get into the playoffs.
Close one.
Good game, good game, good game.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super
Good
Bowl.
game.
There you go. Ill agent number 3. I don't know who you are, but thank you for asking the question.
Ill agent.
Let's move it on to Bolts 999.
Triple agent.
Ooh, triple agent. That might be
That's
it.
what it is, Kyle. You solved
you
it.
sneaky
It's like the
son
guy
of a-
that looks at like license plates and you figure out what they say on the back.
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah,
just
yeah.
nailed it.
There you go. All right. Bolts 999 is next on the list. What do you think, Kev?
Certified Fresh.
Okay. Who asked the question? I'm not wrong for thinking this team is soft, right? Whenever we play really physical teams, we get outclassed.
There were a lot of missed tackles in this game, like an incredible amount. I don't know.
I mean, it's well,
I
he's
don't
not even
wanna-
just saying
I don't
the
want to call
defense.
us soft.
He's saying like the whole team is soft.
Yeah, we couldn't get a run game going at all. Like you activate Bradwell, but you don't use him. I don't know. This is a good question because it feels like sometimes we play hard and we're aggressive and we're taking our running back into the end zone, and sometimes we're doing what happened on Sunday, and it's not hard.
It's soft.
Wouldn't say it's fully
What's
soft.
the middle? What's a?
It's like half mast.
Welterweight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like half mast.
Yeah,
They're
it's
playing
not a
half mast.
heavyweight. It's not a featherweight. We're right there
We're
in the
middleweight.
middleweights.
It's just disappointment. It's just disappointing. Not being hard. It's just disappointing.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh,
What?
Mrs.
It's not-
Woolley. I'm sorry for my brother.
You dirty boy. Shut
You
up.
are.
Yeah, you are.
What?
Um,
Not being hard is disappointing.
You heard it
I'll
here
say it
first,
again.
folks.
I'll say it again.
It doesn't fix it, Kevin. Saying it more times.
Right.
Driving the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what if it really is that we're playing physical teams. I mean, I feel like we have played physical. It's just our softness fluctuates like with our wins.
Yeah, it's
You know,
inconsistent.
it's
We're
an
inconsistently
inconsistent soft.
Yeah.
It's inconsistently soft.
Right. You don't
Or
want
inconsistently
this,
hard.
Right. You
Hard.
don't want this
Yeah.
bounty, dryer sheet in your dryer because you don't know if it's going to be soft or hard laundry. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's the Chargers.
So the glass is half full or glass is half empty.
That's
Glass is
right.
half soft. Glass is half hard. You never know.
Right. It's a slush.
We're
It's
lost.
an icy of sorts.
We're lost.
All right.
I think none of us want to say that we're soft, but I think we're all saying that we're
No.
soft.
No.
There's elements of softness.
There-
There's
Sherman.
elements of softness. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Bolts 99. Thank you for derailing the conversation. Let's move it on.
That was the craziest answer I've ever heard.
Let's move it on.
There's no logic to anything we just said.
No.
Sorry, Bolt.
None whatsoever.
999.
Zero.
Let's move it on to Coach Lago, who asked the question. So, I mean, I guess I'm just a terrible fan. Like, if I don't get on Twitter and just say how bad Lombardi is, or that Staley is so totally overrated, or how totally awful Ninja Tommy is. I mean, oh my God. If we have a bad game, that's the only way to be a real fan. Duh. So guys, I have a totally real football question. Okay. Why don't we totally see more screens to Eckler? Okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
Good, love you, bye. Good one, Coach.
Yeah. Why don't we see more screens to Eckler? Why, Kyle? Why does I need a definitive answer and I need it now?
my quick opinion is like I think they're utilizing him in so many other ways. Like they're sending him out on routes, they're sending him on other things that are successful. You know what I mean? Like so maybe that's taking over some of those opportunities where because you saw that one big play where he targeted him right up the middle, and he got a big catch. It was like the can't remember specifically where it was, but maybe that has something to do with it. They're utilizing him more in
Just
that
utilizing him differently
than the screen game because we haven't done a lot of the screen game to be honest.
Well, we tried on Sunday, and then we got called for an ineligible man downfield.
Yeah,
Lindsley had gotten downfield, and I guess Eckler had accidentally. Well, because when he runs a screen, if he's behind the line of scrimmage, the linemen are allowed to go as far as they want. So he got kind of bumped getting out, and I think he got too far downfield, and that's why they called it. But yeah, so there's a couple of things. Screens are somewhat dangerous, right? If it gets snuffed out, if the defensive linemen recognize screen and they drop back, you're screwed. Because you got a quarterback there. There's usually one guy coming, at least one guy is not going to stop. If the screen's to the left, that whole right side's coming full speed at your quarterback. He's got nowhere to throw it because if he tries to throw it away, he throws pick. So there is an element of, hey, this is not just a cookie cutter play. And it is sprinkled in, but you're never going to see a team run 6, 7, 8 screens a game. You're going to see 1 or 2 because it really what a screen is to keep a team honest. They start getting a really good pass rush and their guys start getting really aggressive. They start blitzing. That's when you run a screen to try to catch them getting upfield, sneak in behind them. But if you just run a screen against a base defense, it's not going to have as much success as you think. As much as if they go man and we let Eckler be one-on-one with the linebacker, you're going to have just as much, if not more success doing that. So part of it is, like you said, Kev, that matchup nightmare that Eckler already is. You don't need to run screens to take advantage of that.
There you go, Coach Longo. There's your answer. Thank you for asking the question.
And you're not a terrible fan for not getting on Twitter and screaming at everyone.
Bro,
everyone's you can be a good fan to do that. You can be a good fan and not do it, but some people just don't like doing it. I don't like doing it.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I had to dip off of Twitter for the rest of that night. Pretty much, I was just like, I hopped on, like, want to see how all my friends are doing, and my friends weren't doing so good. They just were having a good time. And,
oh boy,
I was already feeling pretty bad about myself at the moment. So I don't want to hear any more of that. So I had to take a break.
Yeah.
French fry taters.
French fry taters. Coach Lago, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Senior Snappy, who asked the question.
Where is 30 when it matters? Why do we endure so many critical plays with lame-ass running backs subbed in? Fuck those motherfuckers. Also, fuck you, Tillery, and fuck the donkeys. Yar.
Snappy
tonight.
He's snapping us.
Salty Snappy.
Sassy Snappy.
Sassy Snappy.
I think we got to still remember, like, last game we played in Denver at really high altitude, and they were rotating those guys in and out a little bit more than they had in the past. And I think that has a lot to do with it. They cut to Eckler on the sideline a few times, and he's like, like, that's why you didn't see 30 out there for, 70 snaps.
Well, and Eckler's been hurt the last 2 seasons. We've missed significant time. This has been the first season we've had him where he's been healthy the whole year, not really missed anything.
Right.
And part of that is load management, man. You cannot run these guys into the ground. And he had 4 touchdowns a week ago and however hundreds of yards. And then you go to elevation. Yeah, he's going to get subbed here and there. The timing sometimes sucks. And I think that's because of a lack of a number 2. You almost know what they're going to do once somebody else comes in, and it makes us too predictable. So we need a good number 2. Denver had it. Those 2 guys are both good ball carriers. They're both good running backs. We need a number 2 that we can rely on and take some of the load off of Eck for sure.
Yeah, they're just seems like we're just floundering trying to figure out who the hell that is.
Yeah.
1 week somebody's activated, 1 week they're not. Then Kelly plays, gets like a couple runs, but flies over people, but not doing anything. It's just like, it's so complicated. It's hard to keep track of what's happening in that running back room.
Yeah.
Go get, what was it? Kalen Ballage? Wasn't that who we picked up last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get him again.
Well, he's on the Steelers, so you'll have to pry it from the Steelers' cold dead hands.
Well, they don't need him.
I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying he has a home. No, I feel you, Senior Snappy. Yeah, if we could have a consistent number 2, a solid number 2, one that we know that's the number 2, It could be a
'Cause
different
you-
situation.
Yeah, you do feel it when X not in there for sure.
Right. All right. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Swim Shady, who asked the question.
Everyone is getting upset with our first-year head coach. They forget that he exactly that, a first-year head coach. Herbert is learning his 1,000th playbook in the past 3 years. I love where our team is going. Still excited. We need a speedster for sure. Also, there are some great veterans that are going to be free agents next year. Hopefully, our culture can attract some nice names. Def need to cut the dude that replaced Matt on the line. Also, cut Tillery. I ran out of hope for him. Tired of missed tackles, too.
Yeah, Tillery's just frustrating.
Cut.
I'll give him that. The Tillery thing is just frustrating.
Yeah, he's not getting another contract.
Well,
He's
no
not worth
way.
it.
He's the epitome of inconsistent right now.
Yeah.
So-
We're paying
I mean,
him
there would
way
be
too much
times.
money
There'd be
for what
times
he's
where he'd
doing.
be in the backfield, and he would have had a great move to get by, and just let him run right by him, and
Yeah.
just was like, "What, Jerry? You're supposed to tackle the guy with the ball. That's
supposed to
how
tackle
football
him,
works."
Jerry.
Yeah.
Hey, Jer.
Jer,
Why don't you
come here.
focus up here, pal?
I'll tell you something.
Hey, Jerry.
Come on, Jer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only in the 3rd year of his contract. Golly.
Balls.
That means we have him a whole another year.
It means we'll be hanging on to
Unless
him
he just
probably.
gets cut.
But isn't that crazy last week with those undrafted guys, how much better our defensive line looked? Like how
certainly
much
feels
better we
that way,
played
yeah.
against the run. Like it just felt better. Like
Yeah.
hopefully the coaches look at it and like and I think Tillery got a whole like he played most of that game. He didn't really come out. Like I thought I'm hoping we can see some kind of reduction in his plays to give some of these other guys a chance because it's just not fun to watch Tillery out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Swim Shady, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Carl Borlingtoft,
Carl,
who asked the question. Will the Chargers ever be consistently good? Will Chargers ever stop giving me either a heart attack or a depression? Will the Chargers ever love me back?
So far, my 30-something years of being a Charger fan, no, there's not a lot. You have little blips of love, but most of the time you're getting rejected or you know.
That's why you just have to
stood up
appreciate
like our
the
fan
good
focus.
times.
He got stood
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
We're getting stood up a lot. You know what I mean?
You just got to appreciate the good times and
Appreciate the good times.
roll with the bad ones.
Right. And know that we don't know what the future holds for this team as far as where it'll be next season. We don't know how this team is going to play the rest of this season. We could win out. Sources say probably not, but we could win out. So you just gotta, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Yeah.
But everyone
Like,
wants
it's
to be
still
consistent.
exciting.
Every team, like the goal is consistently good.
Sure.
Every team has off years and blips and like, I don't know, like
Well, there's no undefeated team right now in for this season. So yes, there are teams that have more wins than losses, but I mean, this season right now, there's a lot of people that are in the 50-50 range.
then again, doesn't it always seem like the Packers are good and the Patriots are always good? And
Mhm.
like there's some teams that are just consistently always good.
I think a lot of that has to do with quarterback play too, man. You're looking at quarterbacks on these teams that are always good, and like they
But
can hide a lot
we've
of
had
problems.
good quarterbacks.
We have, but I think Justin is kind of in a different tier. You know what I mean? Like I think he's still young. I'm not saying anything bad about Phil. I love you, Phil. But I think there's
Coming
an
across
element.
that way.
Kyle, shut up.
Kyle?
I think there's an element of like when you have a quarterback like this, just got to build around him properly. And I think we're getting there in terms of getting him all the pieces he needs. Because look what he did last game. Like he was still balling out. He was, when we want to push it down the field, we want to do this stuff. We want him to scramble. We want to make all the plays. He's going to make mistakes. That's what's happening. We're just asking a lot of him right now to carry us through all these games. We need to get a running game. We need to have running backs be able to step up and control the clock and help this offense. And we're just not really getting it right now. So it's just a lot. I think we're close. I really do. I feel like we're going to have we're going to have more fun than we will bad times moving forward. What that actually means, I don't know, but it's something
lost,
like that.
dude. We're
I
just
fucking
drowning here. We're just
spiraling.
lost, dude.
It's a weird
We
episode.
are
Just
not
spiraling.
We're just lost. We don't know. Just like you guys, like we're
Right.
confused. Too.
We
It's
don't
like
have the answers.
Last year we have a coach that wants to run the ball every play, and we hate the running game. We want to throw the ball. Now we're throwing to be like, damn, we need a running game. What are we doing? We need running backs. It's like we're just lost grasping right
We're
now.
lost at sea.
Somebody throw me a lifesaver. I don't know if we'll ever be consistently good. We can't help you, Carl. Just get on board.
Just hang out,
we'll
man. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah.
Right. Just it goes up, it goes down, it goes side to side.
And
Just
when we beat the
enjoy it.
Steelers and we beat the Browns and they're awesome games, you just love it and live in it and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And one day we will win a Super Bowl.
One day
It's
we
just a
will.
matter
It
of
has
time.
to happen. Has to
The odds
happen.
are there.
Yeah.
It has to.
Has to.
Carl, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on to Mike Nava, who asked the question.
What would you guys say is hurting the Chargers more that they need to clean up to right the ship?
Drops currently. There's
Stop
a few
beating
things,
ourselves.
but
penalties and
Stop
drops.
beating yourselves. Exactly.
the drops is killing, and the penalties are killing. Those are the
Penalties
two
are-
big things you
yeah.
could clean up right now.
Yep.
And not need to bring in new people.
No roster change. Just stop dropping the ball and stop committing penalties, and we'll be in good shape.
Big time.
We'll be fine.
That could completely change where we are right now. And hopefully I'm sure they realize that. I'm sure they're aware of that.
They're very smart.
They're
yeah.
very smart people. Get paid a lot
This
more
is
money
all
than
they
we
do.
do. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for asking the question, Mike. Let's move it on to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question. I just want to say that no matter how bad the loss is, you can always rely on the guys at Charger Chat to cheer you up. Hey, hey, hey. Should we have won? Yes. Is the season over? Heck no. Let's support our team no matter what. As Coach said, bolt the f*** up. Hey, love you, bye.
Oh,
That was
Gavin.
certified awesome, Gavin.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
love that shit. Dope.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Gavin.
Man, it does.
Absolutely.
This week sucked. We should have won. We lost. Guess what we get to do? We get to go play
get
one of
to
the
play
best
again.
teams in the AFC. We get to play the
again.
Bengals.
Yeah.
We get to just shove it down the throat, and we're gonna win. It's gonna feel great.
It's going to feel so
It's
good.
gonna feel so good.
Thank
I'm
you.
just excited. Like we got to remember too. Like we got to enjoy. Like we're not gonna have a lot of football left. Like even if we get into the
It's 6
playoffs, like
weeks.
Yeah.
we're past the point of. Even if we go to the Super Bowl, like we're past halfway for everything.
Right.
So just enjoy these games. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm pissed off right now, but shit, like, is it worse
Don't
to be
waste the
pissed off
season.
and not have
Yeah.
football?
Right.
Or is it worse to just not have, like, we have football. We have Charger football. Let's enjoy
Yeah,
it. Let's have fun.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. The downtime between in that off season is so long. It's such a long
It's
time.
So long.
So just
love
Winter's
this.
coming, guys.
winter
Enjoy
is
it.
coming. So just enjoy it while you can. Gavin Gibson, thank you for reminding us to stay shamelessly positive. Moving on now to Bobby Caldrone, who asked the question.
At what point do Herbie and DJ go into that locker room and just absolutely lay into the team? It feels like both are single-handedly keeping this team in games of late. Not just in personality, but might light a fire. Either way, I don't see how we don't win the Super Bowl this year. Okay, love you, bye.
Thanks, Bobby. Bobby, you're the man.
You are the
I love
man.
it. Just blind, just positivity. And I love that.
Absolutely.
I don't need my eyes.
No, and honestly, who's to say that Herbie's not going in the locker room and firing these guys up, or DJ? Just like, we don't know. I mean, honestly, the only time we look in the locker room is when we win and they're handing out game balls. Like outside of that, we don't really get to see what's going on behind closed doors. So, I mean, Herbie this season during the frustrating times has at least shown that he is getting frustrated, that he is upset that we aren't moving the ball down the field, and he's talking to these guys. So he could be talking to these guys in the locker room and try to fire them up. I'd like to think so, since I can't see. But Bobby, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cerberus21.
This is certified fresh.
Okay.
For sure.
Who asked the question?
What in the cocksucking hole-licking mother of a mouth-shitting fuck was that game? From just letting Teddy Bitch Walker walk into that end zone to the stupid-ass personnel decisions I could hardly watch. Sergeant Senor Calaman, are you fucking kidding me? Denver's backup defense line made our line look like a bunch of sorry-ass butt-sniffing chumps. Minus Slater. Fucking love you, Slater, okay?
Herbert's our savior and unanimous leader, but sometimes he's the dude and other times he's just a dude. I need to see him be always the dude. And no, not just one dude disguised as another dude playing a dude. It's almost as if when Staley said we need to play as a unit on Sunday, we woke up all like, suck my unit. God damn. Because I like to see siblings in the natural habitat. If you guys were in a life or death situation and you could only save one brother, but the other would die, who would it be? I expect you all to answer. Okay, love you, bye, motherfucker.
So break down the ground rules for this hypothetical.
Okay.
Between the three of us,
If
we
you
can only
guys were
save
in a
one.
life or death situation and you can only save one brother, but the other would
Like
die,
I'm holding,
who
there's
would
a
it be?
cliff. I'm holding both hands.
And you're losing strength.
And I need to, like, cliffhanger. I got to go to one.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go.
Go ahead.
Let me, yeah. You guys have lives and families. I have 2 cats. They'll be taken care of just
Let me
fine.
go. Let me go.
Oh, yeah. I would never.
I'll just jump with you guys, all three of us together.
Yeah,
we'll
just go off together.
Yeah, we'll all get in a convertible.
Yeah.
We'll go out Thelma and Louise style. We'll just drive off the cliff together.
Okay, love you, bye.
We're all holding hands.
Good answer.
There you
Good
go.
answer.
He expects us all to answer. So, all right, Wooly. Fine.
What if I got to
I
let
don't
one
wanna
of you
say it.
two go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't make me choose.
It's okay. You would kill me. I know.
I would.
I
I'm
get
sorry.
it.
Thank you for saying it and not making me say it.
That's okay. I get it. I understand. I was late to the party. I was the
know.
little annoying little brother.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if I actually like knew both of you guys like for the exact same amount of time and like enjoyed your company equally. Oh, I just like I would kill myself. Just be like,
that'd be a real shitty situation.
Yeah,
like we're all going together.
Yeah, Thelma and Louise, me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Cerberus. Hope that vent
But who
session
gets-
worked for you.
Who do you want to watch the cats? Take the cats.
Hmm.
Do you know what Kevin does with his cat?
Yeah, I know what he does with his cat.
Is that how you want your cats treated?
I'm not mad. I'm not. What you guys make me sound like I'm some terrible pet owner. My cat has swiped at my children many a times because he's an asshole. So he's got this sweet little cat apartment, and we go visit him.
It is
from time
it's
to
so
time.
sweet.
And where
There's so
is it
many
in the house?
windows, and
Yeah,
There's
where is
one
it?
window,
Where is it?
and he's got a bed and a
Is
place to eat
tornado
and poop.
safe?
He's definitely safe.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't have to go
tornado's
anywhere
safe.
if there's a tornado.
Yeah, he's right there in the basement, ready to rock.
ready to rock.
Yeah. Actually, you should probably give the cats to Kyle because I probably wouldn't take care of them.
I'd probably either give him to Kyle or put him up for adoption or something.
Give him to neither of you.
Yeah,
I will.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I demand that they don't go to either one of you.
We do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway on Charger Chat. We all love our pets. This is just a joke.
We're
Come on,
have
get
a
some
dog
We're not
sports.
giving away
You can
tickets.
do it.
We're giving away
got you.
cats this week.
Wow, the Charger guys are really falling apart. They're really desperate with these giveaways.
Yeah, these guys really need follows and views.
Oh man,
You're giving away cats.
Yes, like and subscribe.
like and subscribe if you want these cats to live.
Oh no, we don't want to upset the cat community. I've seen that documentary.
No, we don't mean it.
Not at
No,
all.
we're
No,
kidding.
they're safe and sound with me, folks.
Yeah,
Don't
we
worry
love-
about it.
We love cats.
Yeah.
All right. Cerberus 21, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Okie Doggy, who asked the question.
Woof woof.
Yeah, shoot. What is becoming a pet peeve of yours when watching this team? Dropped passes that have a chance to be picked off, penalties when something goes right, injuries at key positions. Also, are there things you guys want to see this team do that we haven't seen done this year, or since last year, actually? Because last year we would have been up in games only to piss it all away in the fourth, whereas this year we put ourselves in the hole instead.
What is most frustrating?
I don't know about overall. This Sunday, a couple of times I saw on 3rd and short stuff, our corners were back at like 7-8 yards, and I'm like, what
Interesting.
what are we gonna do there? How are we gonna stop a 5-yard hitch for a first down? That to me was really like on third and short stuff, we can't play the stop big plays.
Come closer
Let's
to
play
the line.
stop the first down. Yeah, let's get up and press, be aggressive, go blitz, make him throw the ball quick and make a play.
Interesting.
So that was kind of frustrating. Maybe that'll be the coach's corner this coming week. We'll see.
All right.
I just don't like seeing Herbert on the ground. That's my pet peeve. Like he got hit so many freaking times this game. I don't even know how many times he got sacked, but it was like probably the highest of the year so far.
I think 3 sacks was what it was.
I think 3 feels about right.
But he had a lot of pressures and he was hit a lot.
I just didn't like seeing him get. I just don't like my boy getting jostled and thrown around like that.
Yeah,
bothers me.
Well, I don't like us having like the most dropped passes in the league.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve.
That is a huge pet peeve of mine right
in
now.
the league.
Yeah,
I guess that's a good one.
That's not the record that I want our team to have right now. But
yeah.
And as far as like things we see this team do that we haven't done since last year, I mean, I know that I'm not saying that this is Lombardi's fault, but we haven't really seen the deep balls that we've got so accustomed to last year that we were seeing T. Billy and Guyton get. And even Mike Williams from time to time. Like we've saw some of that this year, but I don't know. It feels like last year it just happened more consistently. I could be wrong that it didn't happen consistently. It just feels like we saw more of it and we just haven't really had a chance to see much of that this year.
Fair enough.
Okay. There you go. Okie doggy. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Jeremy, who asked the question.
Many people of you on Twitter thought the Herbert interceptions brought you to darkness, but you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. Moses Moreno was my best hope at one time. I didn't see the light again until I was already a man in the form of Philip Rivers. By then it was nothing to me but blinding, dadgummit. Calm down, Boltfam. Now is not the time for fear. That will come later for the Bengals.
Jeremy, I love
it,
dude.
Jeremy.
Love that shit.
Yes. Everybody, calm down.
Calm your
Just
tits.
calm the down.
Yeah.
Now is not the time for fear. Now is the time to rally behind these guys. I mean,
yeah, we got a big game Sunday.
It's easy to rally behind a team that is consistently winning. It's harder to rally behind them that have devastating losses like this.
Teams that are winning don't need our moral support.
No.
They don't.
Right.
The teams that aren't doing well need us to like give them a thumbs up on Twitter, tag them in some shit that's positive.
Right.
Like that's what we need to do.
Let them know that we're thinking about them.
Us bitching isn't going to help them play any better.
Right.
It just isn't.
Right. So there you go. Jeremy, thank you for reminding us to all calm the heck down. And we go out of Ask Bolt Fam with Gruder McBolt, who asks the question.
Hey, we're still above 500. Yay! Let's play a game. Kyle, Kevin, and Wildog. It's time travel where possible. Would you rather go to the Epic in Miami game or the 1963 AFL Championship game? Okay, love you, bye.
I love.
Good question. I'd go to the Epic in Miami for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to go to
1963 football would not be that fun to watch. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Think so?
It would be, but I would like to do that because it would be so different. But weren't they airing it out in the 63? I think that's what they were. That's what our Bolt history was, is that they kind of changed.
Oh, did you just go Bolt history on us?
Bet your fucking ass I did.
Pull that out of my back.
I learned a lot from him. But they were throwing it then. It was like Bambi and all that on and that team. So I just for time travel purposes in general, the 60s are a lot further away than the late 70s, early 80s. I can picture what the late 70s or early 80s look like. I wouldn't mind going to a stadium and spending 25 cents on a beer and having a nickel popcorn.
I'm way off. The final score of the game. Wait, let me see if this is true. The Western Division champion San Diego Chargers won 51-10.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man,
because the Epic in Miami was stressful.
But the Epic in Miami is fun. That's just that you're bored after the halftime.
No,
Yeah,
you're
you
rubbing
are.
it in some
You're sitting there
1960s
twiddling-
faces.
There's no
They
Twitter
wouldn't know how to
rub in
handle my
anything.
shit
You're sitting
talk.
there
They haven't
twiddling
even
your
heard
thumbs.
some of the words we use here. It's just a fact.
Kevin would be dabbing all over the place. They'd be like, "What's
Come on,
wrong with
guys.
this child?"
YMCA. Let's go.
I kind of think the AFL Championship too. For me, I think that would be just what a time to be alive.
I would know what I would do. I'd go to this. I'd learn how to play guitar first of all. Then I would take a guitar and an amp with me. Then I would play Thunderstruck in 1963. Like plug me into some kind of amplifier and fucking rock that out for them. It'll be like Marty McFly. Like you won't like you don't like this, but your kids are gonna love it.
Right?
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
Is this AC/DC? Well, listen to this. He pokes the phone out.
Yep, that's it. That's how I would do that.
I love it. All right, Gruder McBolt, thank you for asking the question.
Thank you for that question.
Good
That was
question, Gruder.
sick.
That was fun.
Yeah,
I
dude.
still think I would choose Epic in Miami.
That's
But
fine.
good
you're
answer,
allowed
guys.
you're allowed to pick that. Nobody says you
Oh.
can't. All right. Well, that is it for Ask Bolt Fam. Thank you all for asking all of these wonderful questions. We love it each and every week, especially after a loss that we had. You guys really, we look for people to make our days happy because, yeah, we make you guys happy, but who makes us happy? It's you guys, okay? It's a two-way street. You guys put smiles on our faces with all these wonderful questions. We love it. And that is just about it for this episode. But before we go, we've got to make some Bolt predictions. We are playing Cincinnati next week in Cincinnati. And it's a morning game. I don't know what the temperature is going to be in Cincinnati, but I'm sure it'll be fine as per usual. So what are the Bolt predictions for the Chargers against Cincinnati Bengals?
I will go first. I got 27-24 Bolts, and I have Burrow sacked 5 times because I really want that to happen. I'm speaking it into existence.
I like that.
Wow.
Very nice.
You go, Bulldog. What you got?
I'm gonna say 2013, and I'm gonna say Drew Tranquil gets a sack.
Like it.
He's due. He's due for something to happen. No, I take it back.
Oh.
Bold prediction: Andre Roberts runs it back for a touchdown.
Oh, I like it.
Punt touchdown. Punt return touchdown.
All right. I'm going 28-27 Chargers.
Ooh, close one.
And no drop balls and no
Bold.
penalties.
Oh my God.
Bold. Very bold.
That is
And I
Bold.
very bold.
I did just
They're
look
gonna
up the
clean it up.
weather. It's definitely going to be cold. It's a high of 46 and a low of 34 for the day.
Okay.
Dude,
gonna be a cold,
46.
nippy one.
I still wear shorts in 46-degree
Yeah,
weather.
but these guys live in the weather that I live in, and
Right.
that's really cold for me.
You know what? They're soft. I think we're right. I think we learned our lesson on this, didn't we?
Mm.
Soft when it comes to the warmth and the
Kevin,
cold.
you're from here, you dum-dum.
But I've acclimated to being hard.
Oh my God, you're so dumb. Let's end this episode. Take us out. I can't talk to him anymore.
Can't even look at him.
All right, folks, that is going to do it for Charger Chat. Don't forget, please, for the love of God, don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Happy birthday, Hillary. K, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Kid, love you. Bye. Bye, Hillary. Bye.
Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Come on, Max. Drop Lombardi. Come on, Max. Drop him. Max, come on. Drop him.
What am I going to do with this dog?
Sounds like you need to take your dog to Coach Kyle's Dog Training School. Coach Kyle's Dog Training School teaches your dog all the top tricks every dog should know, like drop it, chilling out, and bolting the f*** up.
Well, what about shake?
What about shutting up? Coach Kyle's Dog Training School. You don't have to do it, but you probably should.